Hello, hello, hello. I am the Linux Mensch. So it's been 5 days since I've done a video. It's been a busy week for me. So today I'm doing a show about Linux. It's a Linux video about nothing. Well, not really. So there's a few things I just want to clean up. I forgot to show you a few things when I did my Vim video. And I also want to give you an update about Arch Install, the automated Arch installer. And I want to show you a new for me, it's not really new, but new for me, a screen lock for my awesome window manager. So let's get to it. For those who have been following my channel, you know that the awesome window manager is my favorite. And not only is awesome my favorite window manager, I prefer awesome over any desktop environment. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know that my favorite desktop environment is the Cinnamon desktop because I love that weather app. But I live and spend most of my time in the awesome window manager. And when my wife and I go out and we're going to be out of the house, I like to have the computer locked. And I hardly ever shut down my computers. Now, of course, my computers are all encrypted. So I have an encryption password, a user password, and a root password. But like I said, I hardly ever shut down my computers. Now, if you're using a regular or a full desktop environment like Cinnamon or GNOME or KDE Plasma or XFCE or any of the full desktop environments, they all have a screensaver or a screen lock on them. You just use your mouse and click on the menu and click on lock, and it's locked. And then when you come in, you just put your password in. But window managers don't have a screen lock on them, and you have to add them. So when my wife and I go out, what I've been doing is I'll just click here, I quit, and then I log out. And it's pretty safe doing this because number one, if someone comes in and gets a hold of my computer, they don't know my username, and of course they don't know my password. And if they reboot, then they're going to have to type in the encryption password. But it's kind of a hassle. So let's go back in, put my password in, then I got to type *X to get into my awesome window manager. So today I discovered a different way to lock the screen when I'm in the awesome window manager. And this is it. I'm going to open the terminal. I'm going to do, let's make it a little larger. I'm going to do sudo pacman s phys lock. I'm going to put my password in and I'm going to install it. It's a simple little program. And that's it. And I'm going to close this. I'm going to restart. Awesome. And I'm going to open my terminal. And I'm going to type in phys lock. And there it is. It's locked. Now I know you can't see it because it's small print, and I apologize for that, but it's locked. And now if I want to go in, I just put my password in and it's unlocked, just like that. Now let's say I'm thinking, well, it's kind of a hassle. You got to open up the terminal and then you got to type in this word like that. It's a bit of a hassle, not hard getting in. So if you're using my Zesh configuration file, all you have to do is type in config, go down to this line here, hit YY to copy it. Let's go up here to LibreWolf, hit the P to paste it in, and I'm going to go and delete this htop, and I'm going to type in lock. Then I'm going to take out this htop here, and type in PHYSLOCK. I'm going to save it. I'm going to close the terminal. So now let's see if it's in the menu. Now I know it is, and I know it works because I already tried it. Let's click on the menu. Here we have it here. See where it says lock? There. And the system is locked. Now let's type in the password. And there you go. It's a simple, light, easy to use, easy to install, easy to configure lock, screen lock for your window manager. Just like that. How about that? Now, another thing I want to talk about is the Arch automated installer. For those who don't know me or haven't been following my channel, Arch is my favorite distribution. That's where I live. I live in Arch Linux. And I've installed Arch the manual way probably about 20 times, maybe more. And I've also installed Arch using the automated installer probably about 20 times. And the reason why I started using the automated installer is that it's quick, it's easy, it's fast, and I didn't know how to do a manual install with encryption. Now I know how to do it now, and I've done that about 4 times, and actually I did a video on it a few weeks ago on installing Arch the manual way with encryption. But still, I like the installer because it's easy, it's fast, and it's also good for people who are relatively new to Linux. So Arch Linux puts out a new ISO once a month, and it's not for upgrading your system. It's only for new installations. And the August 1st ISO, the Arch installer isn't working. I tried it many, many times. I even tried it this week. I tried it with encrypting, without encryption, and for me, it's not working. So either I'm doing something wrong, and I don't think I am, but I don't know what's wrong with it. So this week, I did a brand new installation of Arch Linux using the July 1st ISO with encryption, and that's working. But for me, the August 1st installer is not working. So I suggest you don't use the August 1st installer, and I'd be interested in knowing if anyone out there has used the August 1st installer and have been able to do an installation. Were you able to complete your installation? Did it work? Was it encrypted? Was it not encrypted? Let me know in the comments. So if we go to, now there was a problem with the Arch installer back in, I think it was April, but within a week they fixed it. But if you look here, if you go to the Arch Linux website and you type in Arch install, it's from July 30th, which would be the one that is on the August 1st ISO. So it looks like they haven't fixed it. And like I said, I tried this week and it didn't work. So I'm kind of disappointed. And I know you can do bug reports in Arch, which I've never done. And you can click on here, Arch install. You can do bug reports. And I've never done one. And I tried to do one, but it said I wasn't authorized to submit a bug report. So I don't know how to do it. But if you go here, you see nothing. But then if you click on this, add a new bug, you see all these reports, and I was going through these. Honestly, I didn't understand what they were saying, or I didn't understand them. So I don't know what the problem is. So right now I suggest that if you're going to use the Arch installer, use the Arch installer from the July 1st ISO, or use the August ISO, but you're going to have to do a manual install. And I have videos on that. I said I was going to give you an update on that, and that's my update. Now, another thing I'm going to talk about just for a little bit is about Vim. The other day I did a video about Vim, and after I posted the video, I realized I forgot to talk about a few things. So I'm going to do that now. So in the vimrc, let's just make that a little larger, and I'm going to type in sudo vim etc vimrc. I'm going to put my password in. And let's just go down a bit. All these lines I've added to my vimrc, and the first 3 lines have been there for quite a while. So the line number 4 sets numbers. Line number 3 sets RNU, which is relative numbers, and that's why when I'm going up and down, you see the numbers changing like they do. Line number 22 gets rid of the tilde. Now the tilde are the squiggly lines. So Vim by default, when you open up a file, regardless of whether it's a brand new empty file, which you're going to type in, or it's a file that has code in it, the empty lines have the squiggly line or the tilde going all the way down. And I don't like them. Aesthetically, I don't like the way they look. And sometimes if you have an executable file and it has tilde in it, it won't work. So line number 22, right here, that takes out the tilde. So regardless of whether you have a file with information or coding in it, or you have a brand new empty file, there'll be no tilde. Now, that's been there for quite a while. Now, the tilde, line 22, it doesn't work. That line or that command doesn't work in Debian or Linux Mint, and I don't know why. If you have that line there, you're going to get an error message. So if that line is in there because you downloaded one of my files, then you have to comment it out or delete it. And in the vimrc, the way to comment out is not with the number sign. That's how you comment it out. These are comments. So all these lines are deactivated, the blue lines. So usually in a file, you comment it out with the number sign or the hashtag. Here you comment it out with quotation marks. So, and then I learned this one. I always found it was hard. Now, because I'm using Xterm doesn't have a lot of the abilities that GNOME Terminal or Terminator or Alacrity have. So copying and pasting is a little bit more cumbersome. And this line here, line 23, is a new command that I learned. And what that does is if I hold the shift button down and then copy it, it will be ready to copy and paste into another file. So that's one thing I learned recently. Another thing I learned is about spell check. Now, Vim has spell check, believe it or not. Now, I have this commented out for a reason. Let's take out the comment. Let's delete the comment. We're activating that line, and I'm going to show you. So let's close this. Let's go back in. And let's make it larger. Now let's go into my Zesh configuration file. Vim -rc. And that's way too big. So look at what it's doing. So for a configuration file, having the spell check on automatically is no good. See this? Look at. So for coding, it's probably not good to use it, but some people use Vim to type out words or information or letters. I was watching a video where one guy said he writes all his manuscripts and books. He uses Vim, believe it or not. So for a configuration file, it's probably not good. Let's quit out of there. Let's go back into the vimrc. Put my password in, and look at this. See, this is no good. So I'm going to turn it off by default. But I'm going to leave it in there. I could delete it, but hey, maybe I'll want to put it back in there someday. So I'm going to do quotation marks, and that deactivates the line. So remember, in some configuration files, like the vimrc, it's quotation marks that deactivate the file or deactivate the line rather than the hashtag or the number sign. So let's save it. Now let's go back in. See? And all that red stuff is gone. But now you're saying, but let's say I do want to use spell check sometimes. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's write a new file. I'm going to make a new file. Let's do Vim book. I'm going to write a book. Okay. So I'm going to do, and I'm going to turn on the spell check. So I'm going to do colon, set spell. So I'm going to start typing. This is a story about, let's purposely spell stuff wrong, about people who like Linux. Okay. Oh, it's even saying Linux is spelled wrong. So all these highlighted things means they're spelled wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the first word, hit the Z, and hit the equal sign. And it gives me a list of words. Okay, so let's escape out of there. So this word it's spelled correctly, but it's not capitalized. So I'm going to hit the colon again. Oops, sorry. I'm going to hit Z equal. I don't hit the colon. And number 1 is the word I want. So I'm just going to click on my 1. Hit enter, and it fixes it. Let's go to the story. So let's do Z equals, and it's number 1. Hit enter, and so forth. Let's go to about. Z equals, and of course it's 1. But let's say it's abode, number 22. I know it's not going to be proper English or a proper sentence, but let's put an abode in. So I'm going to hit 22, and it changed it to abode. There you go. So that's, now you're saying, but at this point I want to turn off spell check. I don't want to have it on. Now the spell check is only on for this specific file that we're in. If I save the file or close the file and delete it, I go out. So if I close the file and I make another file, the spell check won't be on. The spell check is only on for this file. So let's say you say, okay, I still want to work in this file, but I don't want the spell check on anymore. So then you're going to do colon set no spell. There, now it's off. Now let's close the file. Whoops. And another thing that when I was showing Vim that I forgot to show was this. So I'm gonna go into my vimrc file. Let's do Vim, not vimrc. So I'm gonna go into my let's go into my awesome configuration file. Config. So let's go to the top. Let's go to the bottom. So let's say I want to move up to line 27 right here where it says enable sloppy focus. I want to move up to that line. So what I'm going to do is enable sloppy focus is on number 27. So I'm going to punch in 27, and you can see it right here. I typed in 27, and I'm going to hit the K because the K is the up button. I'm going to hit the K, and there I am. I'm at that line. Enable sloppy focus. Now let's say I want to jump down to line 12 where it says, well, let's go to 14. I want to jump down to line 14 where it says awful spawn with shell I'm wheel kill. I want to go to line 14. So I'm going to type in 14, and you can see it right here where I typed it in, 14. And I'm going to hit the J for jump. And there we are. We're at that line. And you can do GG takes you to the top. Shift G takes you to the bottom. Let's say I want to go to line 31 where it says layout. So I'll just do 31. Okay, and there I am. Now I'm at the line enable. Let's say I want to go to the end. I'm going to hold the shift down and hit the A. Now I'm at the end and I'm ready to insert. I'm insert mode. I'm going to hit the escape button. Now I'm in move around mode, or it's called normal mode. Now let's say I want to go to the beginning of that line. I'm going to hit my 0. Now I'm at the beginning of the line. Shift A, now I'm at the end of the line. Hit 0, now I'm at the beginning of the line. Let's say I want to move to the word focus. So I'm going to hit slash focus. Oh, and there I am. I'm at focus. Let's say I want to move word by word by word in the line. Word, word, word. See? I'm hitting the W. I'm just clicking my W. And it's jumping words. Let's say I want to do a search for something in here. Okay. I'm going to do a search for Firefox. I'm going to hit the slash and type in Firefox. There we are. We're at Firefox. Now I wonder if there's the word Firefox somewhere else in this file. I'm going to hit N for next. N for next. And there we are. Now I'm at Firefox down here. Hit N again. Now I'm back up to the other Firefox. So there's only two Firefoxes in this file. Now I bet you're saying, but there's 4, right? What about this Firefox? Well, it's case sensitive. So let's do a slash. Let's type in capital Firefox. Oh, now it took me to this one. Now I'm going to hit the N for the letter N for next. Oh, and I'm at that one. See, I'm right here. Next, next, and so forth. So that was just a little bit more about Vim. So in this video, I gave an update, which was kind of really not an update because there's no new information about the Arch installer. I showed you some things in Vim that I forgot to show you in my last video. And I showed you a new screen lock that I'm using. Well, it's not new really, it's new to me. A simple, easy to use screen lock that works with the awesome window manager and probably with any window manager. Anyways, I hope you learned something today. And if you enjoyed the video, please like it and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. I am the Linux Mensch.